Hey guys, I'm so sorry. Hey everyone, welcome to the chat. That was so loud. I apologize. Hey everyone, how is everyone's night? Let me get situated, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of running behind. If you're here, say hello. We got a lot to discuss tonight, you guys. And I actually thought that I would be going live a little bit sooner, but I had a doctor's appointment later this evening in the city, which is like an hour and a half away. And then my daughter wanted to go to American Eagles. So we did that. And on the way home, my husband called and said that he was at the mother-in-law's at his mom's house, and he was letting the kids swim, and they were cooking baked chicken and baked beans. And asked if I wanted to come hang out and eat. And I was like, yes, check, I do. So I went and literally ate and rushed home. And it's been a wild day, you guys. But I told you guys that we were going to do a hangout tonight. Tonight's probably going to be a long one, Rachel. We had the city backdrop. Yeah, tonight's probably going to be a lengthy one. Tonight's just going to be a chill one, hangout. Kind of chit chat about everything that's going on. Since I got my studio, I will be doing lives, every day for every topic that I cover. And those will be shorter versions, but tonight I'm going to have my nights sometimes where I do my long streams where we just hang out and chill. So what's going to happen to the Chrisleys? That is the question, you guys, that I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. We just started Test T, so you didn't miss too much. Let me get on Twitter. Actually, someone emailed me. Let me find it. Shout out to who emailed me. I actually did not get a chance to email back. I'm so sorry. Amanda, you emailed me. Let me send you a thank you. And she sent me what Emily Baker posted. So I'm actually going to pull this up so we can read it together. Emily Baker may actually, I know they're putting all of the reality stars away. What is up? Okay. Let's see. Emily Baker commented on this. I will be doing a tour of the studio, which right now it's kind of messy. And I have a whole mattress back there that I'm going to get out before I show you guys that. I still have, so obviously because of the echo, my husband had to put a mattress in here, but we have to, as soon as I can, get the panels. I'm going to order panels and put them alongside to help the echo, and then we'll get the mattress out of here. KJ is going ham on Chrisley's on Facebook. Oh my goodness, you guys. Just because, do I think this helps Katie's case? Sure, because obviously some of the things that Katie said was related to him committing tax fraud. A lot of the things that she said were in fact about that. So I do think it helped. I think it helps her case, but it doesn't mean that she was in the right to attack him like she did, because she attacked him in more ways than just talking about the tax situation. Even Lindsay, her friend, was like, Katie, can you please stop saying, nasty things about my family? This is what happens when people with no money and inundated with it, they don't know how to manage it, and it becomes, yeah. And two, I just ate baked chicken and I rushed home, ran in the house for 2 seconds, and then came out here to film. I didn't even floss my teeth. All right, so let me share this with you guys. We'll read it really quick. Nope, not that one. Okay, that one. Okay, so Emily Baker posted this earlier. It says, Todd and Julie Chrisley convicted. I haven't even broke down the allegations for this trial, but I'm going to look at the coverage that came out during the trial leading up to this verdict. They were convicted on all charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion, reports at Court TV. Todd and Julie Chrisley have updated bond conditions that include location location monitoring, which I guess that is the ankle monitors. So Katie said that she got it from somewhere. I hadn't seen anyone saying that in our first video, but apparently that is the case. Home detention, so they're on house arrest, and alerting probation to any spending over $1,000. Can you guys imagine that? I feel like Todd wears underwear that costs more than $1,000. I feel like his socks are over $1,000. So he's going to have to alert his probation officer if he spends over $1,000. The minute order for the verdict isn't available yet. The jury began deliberations on June 3rd, 2022, and reached a verdict on June 7th, 2022. The Chrisley's lawyer told at People that they are disappointed in the verdict and an appeal is planned. And then she asked, would a breakdown of this case and the charges be helpful? Yes, Emily, that would be helpful because we do not understand. But I'm going to try to get the transcripts of this trial so we can go over them because, and I don't know this to be for certain, but someone actually commented on my video from earlier saying that they read the transcripts and that Nanny Faye testified. And then when Nanny Faye was on the stand, the prosecution asked her, do you want a Bentley? And she said, no, I don't want a Bentley. And they said, well, you have a Bentley in your name. And she said, well, you know, Todd puts paperwork in front of me and I sign it. And then they asked her, did she know she was like a board member or like the CEO or something to the Seven Seas production company? And she said, no, that she has nothing to do with the company essentially. And they said, well, no, you are like a board member of the company. And she had no idea. And she said, well, you know, I fill out a lot of things. Todd puts it in front of me. I just fill it out. So apparently the way it appears, it was not public. And not that I know of, it wasn't public Glazed and Confused, but I think it was where when things were filed, you could, you know, get that information. Let me get myself back up here. I didn't know that I wasn't up there. Okay, so and also the viewer's voice was in my chat earlier, and I had no idea. When I got off, one of my mods sent me a screenshot, and I was mind blown. I cannot believe the viewer's voice was in my chat. He only made one comment, so I don't know if he clicked on, saw it, and was like, let me comment, and then he was like, oh, never mind, I don't like this girl, and left, or if he just got quiet. I don't know, but either way, hopefully he liked what he saw and he'll come back because I love the viewer's voice. Could you imagine Todd's reaction to a toilet in his cell and no privacy in showers? This is really going to be difficult for Todd, in my opinion. I'll read this article really quick just to catch everyone up that did not watch the first video, and then we'll just discuss, and then we'll go over the Josh Duggar sentencing hearing. And if you guys have any questions about that, I'll answer them. So, the duo who star in USA Network's most watched current original series, Chrisley Knows Best, were convicted on multiple counts of bank fraud and tax evasion by a federal jury in downtown Atlanta today, according to multiple local reports. Sentencing, okay, we have a sentencing. Sentencing is set for October 6th at 9:30 a.m. Okay, so I was saying probably the most 3 months. Where are we at? We're at June, July, August, September. Okay, 4 months. 4 months. All right. Sentencing is set for October 6th at 9:30 a.m. The couple face up to 30 years in prison. Federal prosecutor charged Todd and Julie Chrisley with conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and tax fraud. Julie Chrisley was further charged with wire fraud and obstruction of justice. Hold the phone. Stop the bus. So Julie Chrisley was actually charged with more charges, or additional charges that Todd was not charged with. She was charged with wire fraud and obstruction of justice. Specifically, they are alleged to have defrauded local banks out of at least $30 million in loans. Prosecuting attorney Annalise Peters said the couple also actively hid millions that they made from Chrisley Knows Best. The reality TV couple is further accused of walking away from more than $20 million that they owed by filing bankruptcy. The Chrisleys' tax evasion is said to extend as far back as 2009, and even after the show began in 2014, they are accused of using their Seven Seas productions to evade taxes. Let's see. Special agent in charge of the FBI in Atlanta, Carrie Farley, said, as today's outcome shows, when you lie, cheat, and steal, justice is blind as to your fame, your fortune, and your position. In the end, when driven by greed, the verdict of guilty on all counts for these three defendants proved once again that financial crimes do not pay. The third defendant is a man named Peter Tarantino, and that was their like accountant, I do believe. USA Network renewed Chrisley Knows Best last month for a 10th season. The series will launch a new episode for season 9 on June 23rd. USA had no comment on today's ruling. The Chrisleys were released on bond, but the judge stipulated in a court document obtained by Deadline that they must participate in a location monitoring program and home detention and are responsible for all or part of the cost of the program based upon your ability to pay as determined by the probation officer, as well as let their PO know if they're going to be spending any more than $1,000. Wire fraud? I don't know either. Let's see. What? I'm not I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me just look it up so I can make sure I tell you guys. Financial fraud involving the use of telecommunications or information technology. Okay, so an example of wire fraud. A common example of wire fraud is the Nigerian prince scam. In the scam, the scammer sends an email claiming to be a Nigerian prince who is down on his luck in some way, usually exiled, and can't access his fortune of his Nigerian bank. And I guess he sends an email saying, if you can access it, he'll give you a certain amount of money. I think that's a stupid example, in my opinion. Fraud that involves some form of telecommunications on the internet. This can include a phone call, a fax, an email, a text, social media message, among many other things. Wire fraud is punishable by prison and or fines. That makes sense. Wire fraud is due to Julie lying about money and accounts to get the house in California. She forged credit reports and bank account balances to get approved. That is wild. Wasn't that a ridiculous example? This Nigerian prince scam. Okay, I don't know nothing about that. Also, you guys, if you do have a question about the Josh Duggar situation, which we'll talk about later, you can send it through Super Chat. I want to make sure I see it. Sometimes the comments will go kind of fast and I won't see them. Or if you want to just donate, feel free. I'm not going to complain about that. Or a free way to support the channel, give it a thumbs up. And if you watch replay, leave a comment. It helps me in the algorithm. And subscribe, of course. But anyways, earlier, a lot of people were asking, like, well, what about Chloe and Grayson? What's going to happen to Chloe and Grayson? What's going to happen to the underage children, the minors that they take care of, right? So at first I was thinking, well, I don't know. Maybe Grayson will go to Savannah. Maybe Chloe will go to her dad. But I was actually reading, and this is very possible, that in cases like these where they have children, sometimes like in the Joe and Teresa situation, they'll let the parents break up their time. Like Todd will go first and serve his sentence, and when he gets out, then Julie can go. That way someone will be at home, to take care of the kids, and both parents will not be put in jail. And I think, honestly, I think that is working with family members to an extent that doesn't happen around here. I've never heard of people getting arrested, like couples getting arrested, parents getting arrested, and them saying, okay, well, we'll let you serve out your 2 years first. When you get out, then the mom will come serve her time. That way, the kids will be able to stay with at least one parent. That doesn't happen around here. I think that's maybe something they just do for celebrities, I guess. It doesn't happen here, but maybe it will happen in their case. I think that would be the best route, honestly. Poor Nanny Faye has to see her son go to jail. Exactly. Let me see. Chrisley. All right, let's see. The 9 biggest bombshells from the Todd and Julie Chrisley trial. So let's go over this. This is 9 of the biggest bombshells. Okay. A superseding indictment from February included an email a Chrisley co-conspirator sent to a bank, which included a financial statement showing that Chrisley had $4 million in a Merrill Lynch bank account. The statement was allegedly false, since Chrisley didn't have an account with Merrill Lynch at the time. When he did open an account with a financial institution in 2008, he never had more than $17,000 on deposit. As a result of the false representation like these, a number of banks issued the conspirators millions of dollars in loans, much of which Todd and Julie Chrisley used for their own personal benefit. Okay, this looks like, what is this? That's weird. Forged check, but it's not from the Chrisleys. Hold on, you guys. I just lost my place. Okay. Assistant U.S. Attorney Annalise Peters said in her opening statement that the Chrisleys not only submitted fake documents that implied they had greater wealth than they actually did, but that the couple also burned through the $30 million they received in loans on luxurious items. They made up documents and they lied through their teeth to get whatever they want. Whatever they want, Peters said to the jury. According to Peters, the Chrisleys hid money from the IRS while partaking in a lavish lifestyle. Chrisley said the Chrisleys has made several bold claims about his spending over the years. In 2017, he said during a radio interview that he paid over $1 million in taxes per year. Peters said that Chrisley hadn't paid a dime in years, and records presented at trial showed no significant payments. And in an episode of his reality TV show, Chrisley Knows Best, the television personality claimed to spend about $300,000 annually on clothing. Okay, now his attorney, Todd Chrisley and Julie Chrisley's attorney, said it's all part of the sizzle. It's all part of the show. It's all part of the act. So their story is, oh, he says that, it's to add an element to the show, like, oh, they have this lavish lifestyle. Of course, they got to brag about their spending, but it's just for the show. It's not real. According to their attorney, Bruce Morris, despite Chrisley's attempts to appear wealthy on the reality show, he was actually in bankruptcy when he made the claim about his hefty wardrobe budget. Mark Braddock was a business partner of the Chrisleys until 2012, and during that time, Chrisley's attorney, Bruce Morris, argued Braddock did everything he could so that he could live like Todd, including buying one of Chrisley's former homes and impersonating Chrisley on phone calls. Morris went on to argue that the Chrisleys fired Braddock. He went to the FBI for protection and revenge and claimed that Chrisley was the one that committed the bank fraud. The defense, on the other hand, said that the Chrisleys continued to lie through their teeth to get bank loans and avoid taxes even after they fired Braddock. Annie Pons, a producer on Chrisley Knows Best, testified Thursday that she met Todd Chrisley in LA back in 2009. She was a former DC newswoman who moved to LA to work in TV. While trying to break into the business, she met with Todd Chrisley because he had plans to launch a luxurious department store, Chrisley and Co., Chrisley and Company. Annie Kate Pons said she was trying to sell a line of baby clothes to Chrisley. He didn't buy them, but he offered her a future job as a buyer for the department store. She took the job and flew to New York during Fashion Week to try and network with designers for the future store, which never came to fruition. In the end, Chrisley owed Pond $10,000 in unpaid work, which she tried to get, but it never came, she said. A few years later, when working in TV, Pond kept thinking of the Chrisley's boisterous family and pitched a reality show in their name. Okay, so even though he didn't pay her when she was working in TV, she decided, let me pitch a reality TV show to the network about this family that never paid me. Okay, makes sense. The sizzle reel took off and the show was sold to USA Network. Pons testified that she only worked on the show for one season, but will be credited as a producer for the lifetime of the show, bringing in around $200,000 a year. Braddock said he helped Chrisley falsify documents in order to obtain bank loans and told prosecutors that he became involved in the fraudulent scheme due to the nature of his relationship with Chrisley. We had a professional relationship at the time. We had a professional relationship. Wait, hold on. We had a professional relationship. This is hard to read. Hold on. We had a professional relationship of an intimate nature. I would do whatever he needed to get done. Really wasn't that hard to read. My mouth just didn't want to say the words. Braddock and Chrisley's personal relationship lasted for about a year, and then they went on to have a business relationship and a brotherhood, Braddock testified. Braddock also testified that during his employment at Chrisley's foreclosure management company, Chrisley's asset management, he and Chrisley were contacted by an anonymous texter at one point. The texter threatened to go public with Chrisley and Braddock's fraud, as well as their affair. Braddock testified that the text said, "Pay cash and we'll shut up." According to the ex-business partner's testimony, he then made four $9,500 withdrawals from the business account. Braddock subsequently met Chrisley in a parking garage and gave him the cash in a little bag to pay the blackmailer. What? Insider previously reported that Chrisley's fired Braddock in 2012. Chrisley has since alleged that Braddock stole money from his family. If someone's threatening to out you and they say, "Send me this money," surely you're going to be able to figure out who they are when you have to pay them the money. That's weird. Chrisley's attorney, Bruce Morris, alleged in his opening statement that Braddock was obsessed with the Chrisleys and wanted to be him. Morris implied later in his cross-examination of Braddock that he believed he was Chrisley. Wow, that's weird. Lindsay Chrisley, the Chrisley's oldest daughter, told the FBI in 2020 that her father and brother Chase were trying to extort her and threatened to release her sex tape. Emails from Lindsay Chrisley to the FBI were shown to the jury in which she said she was trying to get a restraining order against her father who was harassing her. She made similar comments on Dr. Phil. In 2020, she wrote, "I'm in no way, shape, or form connected to this monster." During her testimony, however, she was combative with the prosecutor, who was asking her about reaching out to law enforcement about her dad during cross-examination, prompting the judge to intervene and tell her to stop answering questions in that tone. She clearly didn't want to testify against her dad. I think it's obvious they reconnected at some point, and she didn't want to testify against her dad, and be maybe one of the reasons that maybe her testimony has something to do with her dad, being found guilty. Thank you, thank you, thank you, T. Spearsy. Sean built this entire thing, T. AZ. We bought a building. It was just a shell, and he built the whole thing. It took him a couple months, but he did, yeah. Let's see. She says she later learned that there was no sex tape and now doesn't believe that her father was behind the extortion. On direct, she said that her father had been her primary caregiver when she was recovering from an eating disorder in 2008. And he also dedicated his time to care for his son Kyle while he was dealing with a substance abuse disorder. She said her father's top priorities are his children and his wife, and in that order. Donna Cash testified that Braddock told her to commit financial fraud with him in order to ruin Chrisley's finances. Okay, who is this? So Donna Cash testified that Braddock told her to commit financial fraud with him in order to ruin Chrisley's finances. According to Donna Cash, who worked at Chrisley's asset management company, she sent fake financial documents to loan companies and lied about the health of the company at Braddock's urging. But Cash testified that she stopped when she realized the Chrisley's home was on the brink of foreclosure. She then confided in Chrisley that both Mark and I were lying to him about everything that was going on. It was the worst thing I've ever done in my life, Cash said while on the stand. So I don't know. You know how trials go. You have some people that testify on behalf of the defense, on the prosecution. So they have someone on their side saying, you know, I worked for the company and Mark Braddock asked me to do these things because he wanted to ruin the Chrisley's financial situation. So I don't know. I question Lindsay. Yeah. The previous female employee said that Braddock was in love with Todd. I wish this case had been public. So hard to form an opinion when you don't hear the testimony. Exactly. That's why I want to get the transcripts. If I can get the transcripts, we can go over them and, you know, we can talk it out. We can figure out what's going on and what we really think. I don't know. I mean, because I know Braddock got immunity. Which I thought was total BS. Because what if, just what if, hypothetical, that's what really happened. This crazy person obsessed with Todd Chrisley somehow found himself working for Todd Chrisley. He wanted to be Todd Chrisley. He started this relationship with Todd Chrisley, or maybe it wasn't an intimate relationship, and he just said that. My thing is, if you have an intimate relationship with Todd Chrisley, where's the proof? Is there proof? I want to know what the proof was. I want to know what the proof is. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't rely on text messages because you were able to falsify documents so well that banks believe them. So you probably could falsify some text messages. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to need some pictures of you and Todd lip on lip or something. You know what I'm saying? For me to think that maybe you had a relationship with him. But either way, maybe this is me throwing hypotheticals out there. Maybe he was obsessed with Todd, got a job. Maybe he made a pass, you know, and Todd rejected him. So then he was like, you know what? I'm going to ruin him because he rejected me. What happened to defamation, KJ? Now, you know, I see a lot of people saying, like, oh, there goes Todd Chrisley's case against KJ. I think a lot of the things that she said were related to the tax fraud and stuff like that. So it may, I don't know. This may be, I don't know. But either way, it didn't give her the right to say a lot of the things that she said because Katie said some nasty things. And I know I'll have some people that'll, you know, come back to this video or they'll watch it and they'll leave a comment saying like, oh, Katie didn't do anything to him. Katie didn't do anything more than what, you know, some other reporters do. But I witnessed some of the things that she said. And to me, it crossed the line. Start applying for the transcripts. If they cost, if not, use it on the studio. Thank you so much, Vicki. I think the transcripts do cost. I actually talked to a friend of mine and I was asking her like, hey, if the transcripts are not out, how do I get them? You know, and she said, you can actually get them like super quick, but it costs like $1,000. And I was like, no, I'll wait. Because they have to like, I guess, type it all up. But if someone orders them and pay for them to be like, to get them quickly, they'll do it, but it's for a hefty price tag, one which I cannot put towards that. Thank you so much, Vicki. The transcripts will be leaked eventually. Yes, I'm actually going to try to get them. Thank you, Kelly. Also, tell, never mind. I was about to say, so I'll text you about that. Oh my goodness. Yes, she is celebrating. Someone said that she was like going off on her Facebook account about it, like just going ham about the Chrisleys on her Facebook account. But either way, on my last video, a lot of people were saying, well, not a lot of people. There was a couple people, you know, like, I like Katie and she didn't do anything wrong. And I'm like, I beg to differ, but that's just my opinion. Didn't Todd say even if he dies or goes to jail, he did. Todd Chrisley did say he was going to see this through, even if he was 6 feet under or if he was, behind bars. He was going to make sure this happened. Sean, it was Vicky. Vicky donated. Come hell or high water, he said exactly. He's going to continue with this lawsuit. And I don't know. I wonder how much they make off the show. Let's see. How much? And they have their kids who make money. Chase has the candle company. Savannah has her makeup line. Let's see how old this is. All right. Where is it? Okay. It's currently unconfirmed exactly how much each member of the Chrisley family makes per episode. However, it's estimated that Savannah earns roughly $250K annually from her contract. That would mean she makes about $10,000 per episode. And that's from Chrisley Knows Best. That's not from Growing Up Chrisley, which she probably makes more for Growing Up Chrisley because she's one of the main acts for that. At one point, Todd's career was estimated to be worth 50 mil. That was probably 30 mil worth of fake information. Julia Chrisley, her estimated net worth was 3 million. Savannah is worth 1 million now. Chase is worth about 500K. Grayson is also on par with his siblings in terms of net worth. So I guess maybe 500K. I mean, there's a jump between 500K to 1 million. So which one is he on par with? You know what I'm saying? One of the deposits from Maverick was $330,000, which would be the company, right? I have some of Savannah's makeup. It's not the best by far. If she works on it, maybe she can support herself without Todd. I need to get some of that, honestly. I need to get some of it. I don't stray away from my makeup, honestly, because I like what I have and I feel like it works for me. But I would like to get it just to see the quality of it, you know. Oh, I'm sure Nanny Faye is upset. Right. Yep. Yes, KJ's been going on Facebook all day since they've been found guilty. Now she's comparing the Chrisleys with the housewife and ex-husband of NYMJ. Can't remember. Yeah, Teresa and Joe. The show is not canceled. It's not canceled. They have a new season coming out this month on the 23rd. And thank you, Glazed the Confused. Thank you so much. But as far as renewing for another season, they actually did just renew, but they're not going to get any more after this because more than likely they're going to jail. Now, like I said earlier, maybe if they allow Ty to go to jail first, let him serve his time, get out, then let Julie go to jail, maybe they'll continue the show and continue to film it, about how they're dealing with each parent being in jail. The judge orders that he has to get expenses over $1,000 per the court in his PO. So I think it'll be difficult to continue with his defamation case. Yeah, because he'll have to get that approved. They have not canceled the podcast, from my understanding. What's left for Todd to sue KJ for? I don't know. I mean, I know she said he was gay. She was like, "Oh, he's gay." She stated it like a fact, but still, most of what she said, from what I can recollect, was in terms of the fraud. So, I know I wouldn't be talking about it though if I was Katie, honestly, because still, you're in litigation with them. Zip it. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's so hard to be in litigation with someone and you want to speak on it. You can't. Trust me, I know. But you just have to keep your mouth shut. That's the best thing. You start screwing yourself over. You start messing yourself over when you start speaking on, the litigation that you're literally in the middle of. I haven't seen anything saying that they canceled the podcast. Let me see. I'll double check, but I'm seeing right now they still have a podcast. I mean, they posted just 3 days ago. I don't see anything saying that they've lost their podcast, so. The podcast can't effective 10 days from today, according to Chrisley's contract. I don't know. What are you talking about, Sean? What's left for Todd to sue KJ for in terms of like the things that she stated? Like most of what she said was in regards to the tax evasion and the bank fraud. Will they really serve time or house arrest? I don't know. You didn't, Sherry? No. Listen, YouTube has been messing me over today because the video I did earlier about them being convicted, that video was doing good, and then all of a sudden the sound went out for people. And this happens sometimes. YouTube has this thing where sometimes, I don't know if it's certain types of phones. Like, I don't know if it's just Androids or but I'll have people saying, no sound, no sound. There's no sound on here. There's no sound on here. There's no sound on here. Take it down. There's no sound. And I'm like, but there is sound. I hear it. I don't know why 10 of you guys can't, but everybody else can. But in her video, KJ was all happy, but she said that she didn't have any opinion. I thought, sure, because your lawyers told you to keep your mouth shut, which I don't even think she should be talking about it right now, honestly. I don't know. I just wouldn't. No, YouTube is not doing me any favors right now, you guys. I don't think YouTube promotes me like they used to. KJ said that Todd Chrisley extorted his daughter with it. Yeah, and Lindsay said that was not what happened, that she thought that's what happened, but no. See, I'm not familiar with Teresa and Joe's situation. I mean, I know they were found guilty of tax fraud. They didn't pay their taxes for a couple of years or something, from my understanding. They went to jail. It wasn't for too long. I think Joe went for a couple of years, Teresa for a little bit over a year, and they're done with it. She did. Yep, Teresa and Joe also pled guilty, exactly, which helped them, obviously. I think they will serve the time, but I bet it's at a country club location, assuming that the feds have one. Thank you so much, Joe. You're always so sweet. I think you're right. I think Lindsay's kind of all over the place and doesn't know what to do. No lawyer on the planet would tell her that it's okay to keep talking about them. Even when you're innocent, you should keep quiet about anything related. Yeah. That's what I would assume too, just to keep any issues down. Because when you start talking about the people you're suing, it's just a slippery slope. Well, yeah, maybe what you're saying is fine, but it just causes too much of an issue, in my opinion. He had to go back to Italy or wherever he was from. Then you got lawyers having to look at it. Somebody's reporting it. It's got to be looked at. What did she say? It may even have to go before the judge. We're suing this person and this is what she's doing. She's on, her YouTube channel with 200,000 subscribers saying XYZ. And we're literally in the middle of litigation. Josh got 12 years and 7 months. Plus, I don't think Teresa and Joe faked bank statements to get loans and then declare bankruptcy like the Chrisleys did. When you declare bankruptcy, the government takes it seriously and investigates it. Yes. In this case, Julie will get more time than Todd. I think so. I think she will because she committed more crimes. Someone said that KJ said something about 7M today. I don't know. I haven't looked. She did. I think she posted something on her Instagram about 7M. I saw someone on Twitter talking about it. Also, I saw her basically telling people to stop talking about her. I saw where she made a post saying, "Quit talking about me," telling another creator to quit talking about her. So I did respond to that. I just said that's not the way it works, Katie. Unfortunately, I said when I asked you to stop talking about me, weeks after my nephew passed away, weeks after my arrest, I begged you, leave me alone, just let me deal with what I have going on in peace. You refused. Jillian Epperly and Tati Westbrook sent you cease and desist, asking you to leave them alone. Amber Portwood got on IG Lives asking you to leave her alone. She was going through mental health issues. She was going through a criminal case. Granted, she was in the wrong for what happened, but she was a lot of mental health issues, that she was dealing with. And she got on an IG Live asking you, leave me alone. Like, stop attacking me the way that you are. You didn't. So many people that's been just like, Katie, can you stop? Can you ease up a little bit? And you're like, no, if you're a public figure, I can say what I want, So unfortunately, if you can't show other people a little bit of courtesy when they're going through a really tough time and they reach out and say, hey, can you please just leave me alone for a little bit. Please stop talking about me for a second. Like, I'm struggling. I'm going through a difficult time. Can you please stop? When people reach out to Katie and say that, she jumps on a live stream and she laughs about it. She's like, so-and-so wants me to leave them alone. So-and-so wants me to quit talking about them. I'm not going to do that. That's what you get for being a public figure. I'm going to talk about you. So unfortunately, when you do that to people's not gonna ease up on you when you ask them to. The thing is, if she was to ease up on people, if Katie showed people that courtesy to, okay, yeah. Janelle Eason did that to me one time. Janelle, her mom, when I talked to Barb was like, Janelle told me not to talk about you because you were a hater. I like eased up on Janelle because I was like, oh, she thinks I'm a hater. She thinks I'm a hater. She thinks I'm like mean or something. So I actually changed the way that I talked about Janelle. That was early on in my career when I really kind of went in on Janelle. But hearing her mom say that, hearing her mom say, Janelle told me not to talk to you because you're one of those haters, I was like, wow, okay. So I changed the way that I talked about her and I stopped being so negative, and kind of mean towards her. I still talk about her from time to time, but not near as much as I used to, because I just felt like, well, I can show her a little bit of grace. Thank you, Vicki. I try to be. I definitely try to be. So I feel like when I was going through that tough time, the end of 2019, early 2000, I remember asking Katie, can you please leave me alone? And she on a live stream, I think she actually tweeted it. Elle Bee wants me to leave her alone, but it's mighty funny. Now when she's got caught doing XYZ, she wants us to hush hush about it. She wants us to leave her alone. And okay, so I got arrested. I got caught being arrested, but that was dismissed. That was dismissed, and I proceeded with litigation towards the people that sued me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was falsely arrested, like 100%. And she didn't know. When I asked her, she took to her social media account, kind of laughed at me about it, and was like, oh, "Of course you want people to leave you alone because you got problems." And let me remind you guys, we were already dealing with a lot. We had just lost our nephew, so you would think she would at least she would at least, the very least, like, okay, yes, I know she got arrested, but she just lost her nephew. So let me leave it alone. You know, she doesn't do that. So, you know, people's not going to show her that courtesy when she can't. If she showed other people the courtesy of backing off when they maybe asked, then people would do it to her, I think, in my opinion. Uh, what do you guys think? I know I'm going to have some people that watch this on replay and they're like, stop talking about Katie. I didn't bring her up, but the reason we're talking about Katie is because Todd has filed a lawsuit against Katie for defamation. Todd filed a lawsuit against Katie for defamation, and since they were found guilty, Katie has been posting up a storm, and so it's being talked about. Obviously, you know, I thought that's what YouTubers do, is keep us posted. Yes, that's what we do. I think YouTubers can keep. I think YouTubers can report on things, can report on celebrities in a nice way, you know, without being so nasty, you know, without being like, oh my God, I hate this person. They're so disgusting because they're married to so and so. You know what I'm saying? Like, calm down, because that is a real person. That's a human being. You know, could you imagine if that person saw it? If the celebrity that you're talking about watched your video where you're saying, I hate them. I hate them because they're disgusting because they're married to so and so. Like, they would be like, oh wow, you hate me because I'm married who I'm married to. I don't know. I feel like there's a way to do it. I feel like there's a way to talk about people, and you just have to keep in mind that they're human. Despite even what Josh Duggar has done, I have not like shredded him to pieces because of what he's done, even though, you know, in my mind maybe, but on here I haven't. I just try, I feel like, and it's just my opinion that, you know, we can talk to you guys and tell you guys what's going on, even say our opinion about it and give our opinion about the person in general without being nasty, you know? Yeah, my thing is, yeah, I did not talk about KG for the longest, and yep, a lot of people that I've covered have actually ended up talking to me. But when Katie started covering me, I was literally like 5,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a nobody on here. I was 5,000 subs, and she just started like, ah. And I asked her when I went through, you know, when I lost my nephew, and then 3 weeks later when I was falsely arrested, I asked her, can you stop? And she, I mean, she was literally the one that announced my arrest. You know, I mean, and this was 3 weeks after I lost my nephew. She could have held off on that. You know, if she wants to report about what I have going on in my life, even though I'm not a celebrity, at this point I have what, 56,000 subscribers. I mean, I guess I would consider myself. I don't know if I would consider myself a public figure. I mean, I guess I do. I guess I am, but at that point, I barely had a channel. You know what I'm saying? So, missed all the drama. It was a lot. It was a lot. I've actually had people reach out to me that are new watching her, saying, "Why does people dislike her?" And I'm like, it's a lot, you know. And I don't want to seem like the type that's just attacking her, because I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to attack her. Thank you, Justine. She doesn't cover YouTubers anymore. She talked about it on a video and said it was wrong. Well, that's good. It was, I know, it was so long ago at this point, 2019. So wild. It's been a long process dealing with all of that, you know. Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it is. I know. Oh, wow. Okay, Chris Adams. In the contract, there's a clause that said the podcast can be terminated if they're found guilty of a felony and fraud. which when you start a podcast, I guess you started, it's not sponsored. Because I was talking to Sojo when I was at her house about how do you start a podcast. She's like, well, you just record, you just upload it, and they put it on, they put it on blah, 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 wherever you listen to them at. I don't even remember. Um, um, I hate to tell you, Amy Sweet Tea, but a lot of those are hate viewers. There's so many people that will, and a lot of those are bald. Um, her her subscriber count to her views don't really make sense. It's been said that she buys subscribers. Also, a lot of them are hate viewers, and I hate to say that. Like, there's literally people that subscribe to her channel. That way, every time she goes live, they can record what she says. And I think that's, that's not me. That's not something I would do. Maybe that's a little too much, but people do it. In the end, it shows her contradictions. It shows where one minute she'll say, my flag was ripped by my conservative neighbors, and then the next minute she'll say, oh, the weather tore my flag, and it looks exactly the same. Yes, Candy has been a great mod. Candy is one of my greatest friends. I love Candy. I have a few more mods here. I have a few more mods, but they're not here tonight. There is no sound on this video. Let me get that on there. Sorry. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Yeah. Also, there is a subreddit with over 12,000 people, and most of the, let me tell you, most of the people that have issues with Katie were ex mods, ex friends, ex followers. Me too, Jay Marie. I thought she probably would. I actually, I thought someone was like legit saying there's no sound, but that was a troll because their name was a bad name. It was a bad name, so it was just someone being a troll. Let me see. I can usually tell when someone's a real supporter. Let me go see. Everybody else has sound, so if you don't have sound, which I don't know, maybe, because I know YouTube has done this. I actually thought it was a troll at first, but I think that one was because of the name. But I actually have seen this happen before on live streams. Some people can't hear for some reason. So if you can't hear, let me post this. I don't know. It may just be trolls, but I don't want to assume that everyone's a troll. Some of them I can kind of tell because their names are disgusting. Yeah. I don't want to get into too much about Katie because let me tell you guys, every single time I do, people think I'm jealous. Even though I sit here and I say I'm not jealous, I literally, when I started my channel, I came across Katie. I thought, oh, cool, another YouTuber that talks about the same thing. When I would do videos, if I saw that she did one similar, I would be like, hey, check out Without a Crystal Ball. She has a video up about this as well. Until she attacked me. Katie has attacked numerous YouTubers. There's not one YouTuber on YouTube that is friends with her. Unirock is friendly with her at times, but Unirock has even she's even lied on Unirock, and she's even caused problems with him. She doxed someone in his Discord, and he had to call her out for that. And there's not one person, that actually gets along with her, and there's a reason why. And so it's not that I have a problem. I actually try to get along with her. I don't have issues with other YouTubers. I get along with everybody else, you know. But you know, and if you guys want to know, you could. I have videos up on my channel about what she did to me, about how she paid for my finances, lied about my finances, how she blasted my arrest and somehow knew before anybody else. Um, and like I said, I was wrongly arrested. I was falsely arrested. Um, there's just a lot. There's just a lot. So, anyways, let's continue. Let's continue. I know, Glaze is confused, and even though you guys that's been following, you know, me and her for a while, you guys know the truth. It's the newcomers. It's her newcomers or people that's not that hasn't been here for a while. It's the people that's been here for a while that know the truth. It's the new people that think that I'm jealous and that I'm just trying to cause problems, but they'll learn eventually. You know, give it 6 months to a year, they'll figure it out too, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, you guys have no idea how many people is coming to me to say, oh my gosh, I believe what she said about you when it come to XYZ," and I realized that she lied. I'm so sorry. So yeah, we know the truth that that's what it is. Right. And I can guarantee you none of Elle's fans are going to go threaten her in her chat. Exactly. Like someone just came in here and done me. Don't forget the mass flagging, reporting my arrest before anyone else, calling me, giving me the big old F you, Elle Bee, saying that I was predatory, I had predatory behaviors, saying that I mocked a man with mental illness, saying that I made fun of her child for being autistic. I could go on and on, which I'm not. I'm not. Let's get back to talking about the Chrisleys. Let's talk about Duggar. I'm curious to see what Emily Baker is going to say. I'm curious to see what Emily Baker is going to say about, you know, the time that they're looking at, because I know that Emily, she she said that she thought Josh Duggar would get about, I think she said like 10 to 12 years, and she was like right on the money with that. So I'd be curious to see what Emily Baker is going to say about this, because I feel like she'll give us a good time frame for what they're going to be looking at. So I was arrested for improper lane usage, flight from an officer, and Schedule 2, which I do not do drugs, and it was a whole big old stink. I don't know what I can talk about right now because I've sued, um, and I have not signed all my paperwork yet for a settlement. So I mean, there was a settlement, but I don't agree to all the terms. So we're having to renegotiate on everything. So I don't really know what I can talk about, but yeah. My daughter left chalk in my car, so and I didn't flee from them. I pulled over when I saw them. And the improper lane usage, we don't know where that came from. I was not told about that. Nobody said when I was pulled over. Nobody said, "Hey, we pulled you over for this. You crossed over the line." I did not find out about that until I was, you know, booking, and I had to sign my paperwork, and it said that, and I was like, "What? Where did this come from?" You know, when they searched my car, they didn't have a warrant. They didn't have a warrant. They didn't have any probable cause. I didn't give them permission because I didn't even know what was going on. Guns were pulled on me. I literally have PTSD from this, and this happened on a Saturday evening. I got out Sunday, and Monday morning, Katie knew about it somehow. So yes, I don't talk about it that much. I know there's certain things that I have said that I can say, but I try not to talk about it too much. That's a part of the confidentiality agreement. I need it left to where I can. This settlement, I need it left to where I can talk about it because I want to be able to talk about it. They've already dropped the new season sneak peek for Chrisley Knows Best, so hopefully the show will continue. Did they? I wish I could watch it here, but we can't because some of those production companies are very bad about taking your pay. Like if I was to post their clip of it, they would leave it up, but then any money that I made from the video, they would take the pay from it. Free Josh Duggar and the Chrisleys. No, we're going to say do not free Josh Duggar, but free the Chrisleys. You know, I'm fans of the Chrisleys, and I've said that from the beginning. I've had people comment on the past saying, girl, you're supposed to just be giving us the tea. You're not supposed to be biased. And I'm like, wait, when I started this channel, did I say I was unbiased? Because I don't think I did. I actually, one of my very first videos was me regarding this. One of my very first videos regarding reality television, because I started off doing makeup and stuff. But reality television, one of my first videos was about Janelle Eason and David Eason and him killing the dog, and I was very biased. Like I was extremely biased in that video. So it doesn't say anywhere that I'm unbiased. What I do say is I talk about reality television. I'll tell you what's going on, but I'm probably going to give you guys my opinion as well. You know, so you know that's what it is. If you're coming to my channel for an unbiased opinion, if you're coming for my channel just to hear me tell you what's going on, yeah, the dog nugget when they killed the dog. If you're coming here just because you want to hear me tell you what's going on, like I understand that, I appreciate that. But if you don't want to hear my opinion, it might just be better just to go read the articles yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to get my opinion here. It's my channel. You know, and not to sound rude or ugly, but I'm kind of shocked at times when I read comments when they're like, you're supposed to be unbiased. And I'm like, who said that? I don't know who said that. What's the fun of talking about reality television if I can't share how I feel about it, you know? From personal experience, I learned not to talk about lawsuits. The other side is monitoring everything you do online. That's fine. They can. I don't talk about much, but there's some things that's already out there because I've actually already talked about this before I filed the initial lawsuit. I kind of know my boundaries, and my husband doesn't have a confidentiality agreement, so he's good.
You want that rest of that? Just coat.
Sure.
I don't want to drink the rest of it. Yeah, I don't care if we get any of that. If you can talk, if you want to talk, if you rather talk about it, then I can take that whole confidentiality agreement and shove it up there.
Yeah, I would rather not settle so I can talk about it rather than settle and not be able to talk about it, if that makes sense. Because this was a huge situation that happened to me that was very upsetting. It
shouldn't have ever happened to anybody.
Really. I completely understand, Laura. Thank you so much for that.
Who's your friend?
You let my friend in.
There's only one. I turned that light on out there to attract them over there.
I've only finished my association with CJ, but I'm not for sure. There was a tip. They approached that arrest with certainty. You can't get from telling someone not being hella reckless. I agree. Also, free people who stole 30 million. Nope, lock them up. I mean, I agree with you on that. I mean, I like the Chrisleys, so I'm like, free the Chrisleys. But in the end, they were found guilty. So people that steal, unfortunately, should go to jail. That's the way that it is.
Who do they steal from?
Banks.
Mm.
They forged. Now, that's it. You know, that's if you believe that they really did it. Is that door shut, baby?
Yeah, well, if they were found guilty, then I mean, it's whatever. But
yeah, I mean, they were found guilty. They're gonna appeal. They're gonna appeal it. But you know, I have to. You know, there's a part of me that's like, because of my issues, I'm like, people are wrongly convicted all the time. And a part of me is like, maybe they were wrongly convicted. Maybe it's true. Maybe that guy, their accountant that was messing all this stuff up, and the woman that said they did it on purpose. maybe that's the true story. You know, maybe that's the real story, but maybe that's how it really happened.
I don't know.
And part of me obviously wants to believe that because I like them.
Sometimes.
I don't worship them. I don't look up to them. Someone also commented and said that, like, you guys shouldn't look up to those people. I don't. I just like them.
Yeah, I like them. But there's a part of me that's like, what, they stole from millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires who screw over the common man all the time. Even when it comes to like taxes, you know, from just my dealing with the military. I mean, do you remember? I'm about to leave, but do you remember when I didn't get paid for like 3 months? They lost. They had my orders to be deployed, but they lost my paperwork.
Yep, I remember that. We were in Georgia.
I had to be there.
You still had to work every day.
They would have worked. They would have locked me up for being AWOL, but they didn't pay me for 3 months because they didn't have my paperwork on that end. They had my paperwork, like, as far as my orders. It was crazy. I mean, the government's dirty, man.
Thank you, Brianna. I'm gonna. I don't know how long they'll get, but I'm thinking Emily Baker will give us a better idea of what she thinks, and I think it'll probably be pretty close. Emily Baker is really good at, you know, at what she's done for several years, and I think she'll be able to give us a better insight onto what they're looking at. If they appeal, it will be worse. That's scary. That's very scary. I would have peed my pants if cops would have. Let me tell you guys, I almost did. I almost pooped my pants. I was like, I thought it was like wrong car. You know, like when I get out and tell them who I am, they're gonna think that everything is fine. They're gonna know that I'm good, and I'll be on my way. You know, that's not what happened. What's even crazier is one of the attorneys that worked for the opposing side said, is there any way anybody could have called in a tip on you? And I said, I don't know. I thought you guys could tell me that. I thought you guys could tell me if someone called in to the police department and fed them some BS on me. And they said, well, we don't know, because obviously the arresting officer doesn't work for them anymore. He was let go. And his statement didn't really give too many details of why he first got behind me, you know. So I was like, well, I don't know. I thought you guys could tell me that. And he was like, well, we'll have to look into it. We'll have to see if we can. They even mentioned, like, maybe pulling phone records. And I was like, I would like to know. But I just thought it was wild they would say that, because I thought, well, wouldn't you guys know that? Trying to live. Oh wait, yep. Who is that country bumpkin talking in the background? That's my hubby. If you hang around in my streams for too long, you'll see him. You'll see him. Actually, I was messaging someone today. They reached out to me about something, and I had to send them a few videos. And they was like, "Who's the blue-eyed guy, you know, in the video with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's my husband." Do you think Josh will get more time and more charges? I don't think so. I don't think he's looking at more charges right now. As far as I haven't heard that he is. Right now, we know that he was charged with, you know, being in possession of the CP, and he's got 12.5 years. As far as I know, he's not looking at anything else. If I hear anything, obviously that will be something that I will talk about. I feel bad for prison guards because they're going to have to tell Todd to shut up. You know they will. They might like him. I don't know. They might like Todd. Who knows, you know? It's hard to believe they're bad because he preaches what's done in the dark comes to light. Exactly. And, you know, most people, hell, I don't know, but you would think most people who's doing dirty in the dark wouldn't be screaming that what's done in the dark will come to light, because they're the ones, you know, doing dirty stuff in the dark, you know, so they wouldn't talk about that all the time. But maybe he is just a complete fraud. I don't know. The government does our military so dirty. We literally were in Georgia because Sean was he was doing his training before his deployment, and we went months without getting paid. And, you know, he went to whoever he needed to go to several times, and they're like, we're working on it. We're working on it. And we were we're not even from Georgia, but we were having to stay there, and we went months without getting paid. And it was terrible. And that was a time where I was like, forget them. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, I do. I'm a big supporter of the military. My husband's ex-military, so of course. Sadly, I think Julie will get more time than Todd because of the wire fraud. It seems like she committed more criminal acts than he did. You know, Emily is literally doing it big. This Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, I'm seeing Emily on doing interviews on news stations. I was like, dang, girl. It's good for her. My understanding, if Josh messes up while he's on probation, they can be sent back. Yes, that is true. So Josh, obviously, he has to serve. Josh is going to have to serve like 10 years and 73 days or something like that. When he gets out, he'll be on probation for 20 years, several stipulations for that. And if he violates, yes, he will absolutely go back to prison. Oh my God, you're awesome. Haters. Who are we haters on? T. Russell? Elle, can you do a live 9 p.m. Central Time? Yes. I think I went live at 9. I went live a little bit after 9. Yes, I will be. Yeah, that's normally what time I do them, Christy, is I normally go live at 9 p.m. Central Time. Hey, girlie. Hey, T. Russell. T. Russ? I don't know. Just sounds like your nickname should be T. Russ. The rich and famous always get off easy. That is so true because, like I said, you know, Teresa and Joe, they were able to serve their sentence out one at a time. So someone could be at home with their kids. Let me tell you guys, when I was arrested, Sean was starting a new job that Monday, and I was like, it was around the holidays as well. I remember when I was being driven to jail, I asked the guy, I said, "When's the quickest I can be bonded out?" Literally crying, you know, when is the quickest? I'm not gangster like that. Like I don't do jail. I don't get in trouble. It ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm balling. When can I get out? When's as soon as I can get out? And he's like, the judge is on Christmas vacation. He's not going to be back until January 8th. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's December 28th or 27th, 28th. I'm like, oh my God. Sean starts a new job Monday. If I'm not there, and he can't go because he's got to stay with the kids. He's going to lose his job. You know, do you think if I would have said, listen, I really have to be home by Monday, do you think they would have cared? No, they wouldn't have cared. See you later, Justine. So yeah, Mike, the situation. I like Mike. I really like Mike. But he got off easy, you know, which, you know, Mike said, according to Mike, he didn't know what was happening. Someone was dealing with his finances and he had no idea. So, did I see Anna Duggar wearing pants? I did see the photo of it. Yes, I saw the photo of her wearing pants, which was a little shocking to me. Because, thank you, Mary. You like my draw or his draw? I was a little shocked to see her wearing pants, but Sean, he went back in the house. He's not going to like them orange jumpsuits. I imagine those orange jumpsuits are not the fabric that he's used to. There's a rumor that Josh was making CSAM, but only one person I heard say that is KJ. If you guys remember the audio that came out of when they raided the car lot, when they came and they said, you know, we're investigating digital CSAM, and he said, was it being uploaded or downloaded? And I was like, whoa, why is he asking if it's being uploaded or downloaded? Is he uploading it? I've heard rumors that, you know, some things were going on that they were not able to charge him with because they didn't have enough evidence, but that means there wasn't enough evidence to support it. So I don't know. Thank you, Laura. I definitely will. Y'all need to be nice. Sean is so sweet. He ain't no country bumpkin. I think in the South, calling someone a country bumpkin is a compliment. I think that's what when someone's like, "Oh, you're such a country bumpkin," I'm like, "Thank you." I get. Request all prior complaints on your arresting officer. Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. You think my lawyer would have told me that, right? But who knows? Wonder if I could just go to like the courthouse to do that. I'm catching up, you guys. Give me a second. Yeah, been there, done that with the military. They just don't seem to care. I know. What's going on with the Chrisleys? So sad for their family members, the poor kids and nanny. I know they were found guilty on all counts, and they're looking at up to 30 years in prison. Now they're not going to get 30 years, but you know they're going to get some time. I would imagine. How old is? Let's see. Is Chloe Chrisley 9? Chloe Chrisley is 9. How old is Grayson? Grayson is 16. So, hey all, I just got here. I have a lot to catch up on. Hey Monica. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets more charges at a later date. They fought so hard about the hands being thrown out. I'm afraid there's hands on CP with Josh. I think it was something to do with that, why they needed those pictures. But for some reason, they just couldn't get all the evidence they needed. But if so, yeah, I hope they're able to get that information and charge him. If that's, you guys, it's just, who should Lifetime make a movie ripped from the headlines out of these people? Josh, Duggar, or both? Both. Hey, Shar. Thank you so much. He's great, isn't he? Todd and Julie Chrisley, their lavish lifestyle, all while behind the scenes, manufacturing these fake documents to keep withdrawing money, but putting on this fake persona that they're, these awesome Christian rich people. Obviously, the Duggars as well, and then Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Absolutely, I watch all three, and I probably do a recap on all three. Julie won't make it in prison. Julie had cancer, like breast cancer. I think it was breast cancer. She fought it so hard, and she's in remission. And Julie, I had faith in you, girl. But they found her guilty. So I must have to understand the whole skirt thing. I would think skirts would be more tempting to men since there's easy access. I don't know. If he's making it, hopefully it would have been found on a device, but who knows? Yeah. I think Josh had a way where he was like completely getting rid of information on computers, but he was doing it like at certain times. He wasn't doing it right after he would watch it, because come on, he was caught with 3 days. That's even what the judge said. Like, I've never seen a case where the defendant only watched it for 3 days. Never. So I think that he had figured out some way to completely get rid of it. So every once in a while, that's what he would do. He would watch it, and then he would completely get rid of it. And it just so happened that when they came and searched, he had not gotten rid of the latest times that he had watched it. That's just my opinion. That's the only thing that would make sense to me. Or there was something else. There was another device that he was, viewing it on. Didn't KJ say there could be more charges against Josh? That's if he violates his probation once he gets out. As far as I know, they're not investigating him for anything else. So I don't think so. I don't think they're investigating him for anything else. So I don't know. Yeah, in the South, it's no insult to us. I'm straight, uneducated. Sean, don't you say that. Not trash. She's Southern. I agree, Vintage Pearl. I do agree with that. Where is Josh in prison at? So right now he's in Arkansas because he's still in the county jail. Now, he requested 3 prisons, but one of them is actually a mental hospital. So the judge was like, the judge gave them, obviously, the judge allowed them to come up with 3 facilities of his choosing that he would want to be sent to, serve his time. And they, let me get to the page where we talked about that. Siegel Prison, which is in Texas. That was one of them, and I think it's about 6 hours from his house, from Springdale. Another one was Texarkana, which also is a ways away from his house. I think Texarkana. Let me see. How far is Texarkana? I cannot type with these nails on. From Springdale. I can't see the keys either. Okay, so Texarkana is 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and then Siegel is 6 hours, about 6 hours, from my understanding. So the prisons that he requested are not closed. I don't know if they don't have ones that are closed that he could go to. I heard that as well. I heard that the way that it works is you have to share stuff as well. So the state is looking at charges. He will have to go back to court. Gotta run, do my insulin shot. Y'all have a great night. Good night, Vicky. And good luck with your insulin shot. Crystal, apparently his partner admitted to it, but admitted that he did it under the direction of Todd Chrisley. So that's what he said. He said, yes, I did it, but I did it because Todd told me to. So there's 2 Seagullville or Texarkana. I think Josh had a device that wasn't found as well. I think that's kind of normal. I think they do that. I think a lot of judges will do that. Like if you're going away, I think they generally will allow you to choose. Like, okay, well, tell me 3 prisons that that you would like to go to, and I'll pick one of those. Is there a way to watch or hear what happened in court in regards to the Chrisley trial? No, I'm going to try to pull the transcripts, and if I can get the transcripts, we'll go over them. The studio looks amazing from what we can see. Can't wait to see the whole thing. I love the shells on the court. Thank you guys. Good night, Mary. I'm not talking about KJ anymore. We're talking about Josh Duggar. Unless you're behind, and then you may be behind. I don't know. The judge actually didn't request it. I was there. That was put out, though. It was put out that the judge requested, or the judge made Josh go to this facility, but that's not what happened. The judge, and I saw that. I saw where somebody said the judge, wants Josh to go here. The judge, I was sitting there, and the judge said, counsel, has your defendant chose his 3 options for where he would like to be remanded to for his prison term? And Gelfand stood up and said, yes, Your Honor, he has, and we choose Seagullville, Texarkana, and another place. And the judge said, well, the last place that you named, whatever it was, that's actually a mental facility. That's not a prison, so we can scratch that one off the list. And Gelfand said, okay, within Texarkana or Seagullville. And the judge said, okay. Now, the judge did say he would have to go to treatment, that he would have to seek some sort of treatment. I don't remember exactly what it is. It's in my notebook. But that he would have to go to treatment and that he would have to pay for it. They send you as far away from home that has a bed, but I don't know about the bed. Yeah, I don't know. I do not talk about her. No, I do not. Oh, do I talk to her? No. Watching from South Africa. Hey, hey, hey. That is awesome. Sean built the walls and built the whole thing pretty much. I picked out the desk and the colors, which ironically enough, the first color that I picked out was a very light gray color. And we went to Walmart, we showed them, and they mixed it and they came and got us. We were like looking, at other paint. And it was going to be a super light gray, and then the panels were going to be dark gray. The baseboards were going to be dark gray. And she comes and she finds us and she goes, well, it turned out a little bit purple. It turned out to be a little bit purple, and they let us look at it, and it was like really purple. And I was like, well, how is it purple? And they, oh, sometimes it just does that. We get the code, we put it in. And Sean said, maybe you got some purple stuck in your machine. Maybe y'all need to run the machine. Hey, Georgia, maybe you need to run the machine again to kind of clear it out, because this is not nowhere near like what we asked for. And she goes, no, we get the code, we put it in, and it stirs up what we need. Yes, Walmart sucks for paint. Am I blurry for anyone else? If I'm blurry, maybe go out and come back in. I may be just blurry in general. I'm not seeing it on my end, but if you guys see it, maybe go out, come back in and see if that helps. So I said, you know what, that'll work. I was actually leaving for Arkansas the next day to go to Josh Duggar sentencing. So I said, yes, that'll work. So we come home, and the next day Sean started painting while I was on my way to Arkansas. And he called me and he was just so upset. He goes, oh my gosh, the color's really purple and it's spotchy. Like it's not even laying on right. Like, and he tried to do like 2 coats to see if it would blend, but it was so just patchy everywhere, right? So I said, no, yeah, that's terrible. We can't do that. And we started trying to figure out why it was so purple. So I looked up, bye GH girl, good night. So I looked it up to see what was, what the deal was. And I found the color that we had asked for. There's also that same color in lilac. So I said, look at the can and see if it says lilac. Look at the can and see if it says lilac. And Sean said, oh my gosh, that's what it is. So our color was like Queen Anne's lace. That's what it was. Queen Anne's lace was what we asked for. And the code that she put in was for Queen Anne's lilac. So he took it back and he said, listen, this is what we asked for and this is what we were given. And it's not even blended right. It goes on patchy. So they didn't have Queen Anne's lace. So you had to pick a different color. And this is what, I'm happy with this one. Dang, they found them guilty. Yes, they did. They found them guilty on all charges, which is just mind-blowing. I have 2 brothers, 1 nephew, just went to prison within 1 month. One is in South J 4th, and my nephew, Carl, County Prison. But yes, they are booked, and it's over dumb stuff. I'm so sorry, Brandy. Here's what I'll say is I do support the police. I do. But I know there are crooked police officers, there are crooked judges, there are crooked lawyers, there are people that only care about padding their pockets and they don't give 2 craps about us. There are people that are supposed to be on your side and they're supposed to fight for you, and they don't. And they take advantage of the fact that you don't know what's going on. You don't know about the judicial system. You don't know how things work. You don't know how things operate. And they want that. Those people that are crooked, they want to take on clients that don't know any better. That way they can screw them 9 ways till Sunday. And it happens, and it's so sad. And do I think Anna will divorce Josh? Not a chance, you guys. Not a chance. Because let me tell you guys, Anna, hey, Southern Charmer, Anna was the first family member that arrived at court that day. She arrived with the defense team, with the lawyers. And she sat, so I'm sitting here in the second row, and she sits like right here, right? She sits right here, and a lady from the defense team sat beside her. Oh, thank you. And they're just laughing and giggling and telling jokes and having a good old time. And I'm over here straining myself to see if I can figure out what they're saying. But everybody around me was talking, so I couldn't figure out what they were saying. Thank you, babe. That smells good.
Taste and see if it's good.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Give me a second.
I'll get that one out. I think it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting better at picking them up.
It's not shrimp. It's watermelon. At around 8 o'clock, I was eating baked chicken, macaroni, baked beans at my in-laws' house. Sean is always making me shrimp. That's one of my favorite things. But we just ate like dinner, so he knows I'm not really hungry with dinner. So they're joking and laughing and cutting up, and I was shocked. I'm like, oh my goodness, she's literally like just cutting up, right? When Josh walks in, I see her hand go up, but I thought she waved. Like I thought he walks in from like up here, and he's walking facing all of us, and the only person he's looking at is Anna. He's just staring at Anna, and he had a mask on, but I swear you could tell that he was smiling. And he's like waving, and he's smiling. I know, right? But she has 10 years, so maybe she'll see the light somehow. You know, we can cross our fingers, but I don't know, you guys. I just don't see it. I think she's very brainwashed. Yes, we actually will do like a fruit mix and put that seasoning on there, and it is so good. Oh, wow. Yeah, Becca Fuller. Max is supposed to get out this summer because I found out the cops didn't read him his rights. It happens. So, come on, Kelly. They're down here. I just thought she waved. And I'm looking, you guys. I'm like looking. I'm seeing what everybody's doing, you know. And but the people beside me said that she actually did this, which is like a sign for I love you. So he sits down. The blind that sat down with Anna initially was actually like a part of their defense team, because a few minutes before they started, she got up and she went and sat with the defense team. Not at the exact table, but a little bit off to the side. And she was dressed like she was a part of the defense team. I know somebody said that it was like Anna's sister. It was not Anna's sister. And then Anna's brother and Anna's brother's wife, Hannah Reaver, showed up, and they sat by Anna. So it was Anna, Hannah Reaver, Anna's brother. And then Jim Bob showed up and sat beside Anna's brother and directly in front of me. Like literally, I could literally touch the back of his head. Like a part of me thought about like tickling him or something. No, really, I actually said that thank you so much for the super sticker. Yes, thank you. It is so much appreciated. So, a part of me was like, I actually told Sojo, I said, when I see Jim Bob, I'm going to be like, we're praying for you to try to get on his good side to see if he'll talk to me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't have it in me. When he sat down, Sojo was like, now's your chance. And I'm like, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Really, it would have been so funny if I would have just stuck my hands in his hair and would have been like, I don't like mess his hair up. But, you know, we were at court. I had to be serious. I had to be adult-like. So I just sat there straining my ears to hear what they were saying. Couldn't hear anything because everybody else was talking. Yeah, let me see if I can find the photo of Anna wearing pants. Oh, of course. Goodness gracious. Let me share this with you guys. Okay. So there's one photo. They said that's Anna. And then, oh no, I don't want to go there. That one. And that's clearly Anna. You can see. And the shoes that she has on in this photo, I've looked at it already. The shoes she has on in that photo is the same shoes she had on in the other photo. And I think this is one of her and Josh's kids. So I think that's her. What's crazy is Jim Bob, he didn't seem terrifying. He seemed kind of broken. You know what I'm saying? He really did. Like, he seemed kind of broken. He just sat there. When he sat down, he just like, a lot of the times it seemed like he just kind of looked down. And one time he did grab a Kleenex, but I never heard a sniffle or anything. I think he may have just been wiping his nose. I doubt he cried, but I did catch on to the fact that he did grab a Kleenex. I'm like, is he crying? Is he crying? And it was when they were talking about some of the more disturbing parts of the case. Right. That is true. Despite all else, it has to be absolute hell. You know, a lot of people's like, well, it's his fault. It's his fault. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of things they done wrong that they should have did better. Michelle was not there, and no, I don't think he was wearing a wig. I saw him. I literally was looking at his hair. I'm not even lying, because I was just kind of mind blown that I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally sitting right behind Jim Bob. So I remember like noting like, wow, he's got little pieces of gray in there, you know, like I could see just a tiny bit of his neck, you know, where like his suit went, and like his neck kind of pushed up against it. I looked, you know, I'm like, wow, but he sit there like, I saw him from the back mostly. It didn't look like a helmet to me. I don't know. But maybe if I would have seen him from the front, maybe. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if I would have leaned up and been like, we're looking at 20 years, buddy. What? But it's so crazy. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but I need to. I know she interviewed with him, and let me tell you guys, Bobby and Jim Holt are really sweet people. They joked about adopting me. They're like, you're our adopted daughter. Very nice people, and they have a long history with Jim, Bob, and Michelle. But yeah, I don't think Anna's going to leave him. And two, another thing is, I saw that there was a video about, you know, Anna thinking about leaving. Friends try to encourage her to leave. Our family tries to encourage her to leave. Her family, like some of her family members were there, and they want her to stay with Josh. As far as I know, no one in her family at this point cares for her to leave. Even the one brother that like at one point spoke out and was like, I told her if she left, I would take care of her and the kids. At this point, I don't even think he's wanting her to leave or you know, trying to talk her into leaving. Josh's probation officer decides who monitors. I don't think will be Anna or parents. I heard that they decided that. I heard they actually decided that, but I haven't seen that written in stone. I just don't see them putting that on anyone else. Could you imagine if they're like, okay, Josh can only see his kids if he's supervised by Aunt so-and-so. Well, then that's going to be such an inconvenience for Aunt so-and-so. Good night, Appalachian Girl Designs. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for the super chat that you sent earlier. It is greatly appreciated. And I'll be doing these lives. I'll be doing these lives, you know, so come hang out with us. Anna's parents are weird. So what I hear. Now, I've always heard that Jim Bob pays the bills. That's what I heard. But it does not seem like her and Jim Bob are getting along. And I also heard that they're not getting along. So I noticed that there was no communication between her and Jim Bob. I noticed that when he came and he sat down, there was no, hey, Anna, how are you doing? How are the kids? You know, nothing like that. I'm actually going to show you guys whenever when I drove by their house. Let me. I shared it with my members, and they seen it already. But I'll show you guys me actually passing by their house. It was actually pretty wild, honestly. All right, let's see. Let me turn the volume up. Hopefully it's not terrible. Okay, sounds good, Sean. You could put the roast on tonight. That'll be fine. Okay, you guys. So I am in Arkansas. I'm in Tonytown, Arkansas, obviously here for the Duggar sentencing. And as I was on my way to where I'm going to stay, I passed the Duggar compound. I'm unsure of everything. I stopped on a dirt road. Obviously, I don't want them to know that I'm creeping by their house, and I'm not doing it to be creepier in a stalking way or anything. So I'm gonna ride back through really quick. I don't want to be creepy, but I want to ride back through really quick just to show you guys the Duggar compound. This is wild. I'm unsure. I know that Anna lives in. Okay, there's the Duggars compound. There it is, you guys. There is
proceed to the room.
Anna and Josh's house right there.
Proceed to the room.
Be quiet, Siri. All right, so that's obviously the Duggar compound. And here is Ashley and Josh's thing. This is where they live. No, I don't know why I keep saying Ashley. Anna. And it's got all this weird. I guess Jim Bob owns all of this because it's kind of all attached. It's really weird. Not that I know of, but I have heard that they're not living there anymore. I don't know. So I heard that they weren't living there, but then I heard that right before the sentencing, that Jim Bob had that area cleaned up. That there were a lot of like junk cars there, which there still was when I passed. But I was told that what I saw was nowhere near how it used to look. That before the sentencing, that there was just tons of like junk vehicles that lined that fence, and that Jim Bob had them kind of cleaned up before the sentencing because he knew that paparazzi was gonna, probably gonna come by. So, hey, Phoenix. And thank you so much, Shayna, for the super chat. That is a blessing. Thank you. I literally have like all of my notes. I'm trying to see because I've went over them before in a video. Look how I wrote that. I don't know if you guys can see it. How I tried to do the hand sign right here. That's me trying to do this. I literally wrote the tables down. Like here's one table, here's the other table. Josh's table, there was Gelfand, unsure, Travis Story, prosecution. At first I put top line because I didn't know his name. And it says, then I found out his name, Dustin Roberts, Carly, Howard Acock, Jim Petrell, and William Clayman. I literally like wrote the tables down. Anna does not live in the big house with Jim, Bob, and Michelle. No, she lives in that little warehouse situation. Let me show you. Okay. Let me show you. I'll show you where it's really weird, but the inside is actually way cuter than you would think. So that's where they live. Now they put up a little privacy fence right here. So when I passed, obviously I could see the welcome sign, and there's actually lights up there. But yes, it was so close to the road, Sherry, that I didn't even notice it at first. Good night, Southern Charmer. I didn't even it was so crazy because I'm driving and it's kind of like up this hill, and you come up this hill and there's this white, like this long white building, and then there it is. So I didn't even see it at first. Yes, they live in a warehouse. It was it was like a car garage at first, but they changed it into their home. So then I saw Jim, Bob, and Michelle's house, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is Jim, Bob, and Michelle's house. And I'm like, well, where's Anna and Josh's house? Like, I know it's somewhere over here. So I actually called someone. Now I heard that she might not, but I don't know if that's true. Rumor has it that she may not live there, but that's just a rumor. I don't know if that's true. You know, that's just gossip that she's mad at the Duggars, and she's mad at the Duggars, and she moved out, but I don't know if that's true. But now when I went by that day, the welcome sign was lit up. This welcome, and it was during the day. Did you guys see it? When I passed, the welcome sign was lit up. So at first, when I pulled, when I was going, I didn't see it, and I just saw the Duggars compound. So I called a friend of mine, and I was like, hey, I just passed the Duggars, and my friend is familiar with the area and knows, and I'm like, I stopped on this road. Can I go down this road? I'm trying to see if I see, Josh and Anna's place. And she was like, oh, it's right before the Duggars. And I'm like, what? So, okay, I'll play it again. Let me, I'll play it again for you guys real quick. Let me do it in slow motion, maybe. Okay, you guys, so I am in Arkansas. I'm in Tawnytown, Arkansas, obviously here for the Duggar sentencing. And as I was on my way to where I'm going to stay, I passed the Duggar compound. I'm unsure of everything. I stopped on a dirt road. Obviously, I don't want, them to know that I'm creeping by their house, and I'm not doing it to be creepier in a stalking way or anything. So I'm going to ride back through really quick. I don't want to be creepy, but I want to ride back through really quick just to show you guys the Duggar compound. This is wild. I'm unsure. I know that Anna lives in... Good night, Peachy. Okay, there's the Duggar's compound. There it is, you guys. Siri got me on this one. Anna and Josh's house right there.
Proceed to the road.
Okay, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better in a second. I'm going to go back by.
Siri. All right, so that's obviously the Duggar compound. And here is Ashley and Josh's thing. This is where they live. No, I don't know why I keep saying Ashley. Anna.
Okay, see, as you guys can see right there, there's the welcome sign. They put up this privacy fence, and they have these lights hung up. So I feel like somebody's there. Definitely somebody staying there if they still have the lights up, but yeah, that's, where they've lived. Now, whether or not they still live there, I don't know, Did you see the treehouse one of the kids moved into? I did not, but maybe this is it. You see that? I don't know. I'm just now seeing that in the, let me go back and see. There's their house. I don't see, there's land. I don't see. No, I don't see. This is Anna and Josh's backyard, literally. That's their backyard. I am in my studio, Dustin. So there's their backyard. No grass, really, just dirt and dump trucks. A lot of kids love to play with dump trucks. They have real dump trucks they can play with. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I didn't notice that. When Anna was coming out of the court, the news was RO. Maybe that's the clubhouse they're talking about. I don't know. I didn't notice that before, but it does kind of look like a clubhouse, doesn't it? True, Diane. I was being very careful. I actually rode by several times. I love it, Dustin. I love it. It's my little oasis. Yes, I was really close. And surprisingly enough, the compound's not that far off the road. Like, it looks a little bit more far off on the video than it actually really does. I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is wild. Like, it's literally closer than I even thought. I'm going behind her trying to talk to her. She was running away. Let me catch. When Anna was coming to the courtroom and the news was, I actually felt bad for her. I really did. I felt bad for her when she was trying to go out. Because they were just, and to be honest, I made friends with some of those guys. The guy from The Sun, there were two guys there from The Sun. The nicest guys. But I know it was like The Sun, the Daily Mail, I think Channel 5, they all were like in her, what do you think? What do you think about Josh's book? It's just in her face. And I noticed that when Jim Bob came out, they did the same thing to him, but he just bumped right into one of them. He just bumped right into one of them. And also, you can see me in the background. You can literally see me in the background. I know, right? Listen, me and Sean's already talked about it. Like, I need a mini fridge. I need a microwave. There's a few things I need, and then I'll be all set, but not right now. Right. I felt bad seeing her, seeing that, but then I just have to remind myself, like, she can change this. Like, she has an option. She can say, just like the Subway guy. He was married to his wife for like 20 years. But when she found out what he did, she left. She got a divorce, she left. Because it was not, she wasn't well with it, you know. But Anna Duggar doesn't believe Josh is guilty at all. She believes that she believes that Caleb Williams looked up the content. And that's just what she believes. So let me see. But yeah, Jim Bob, when he come out, they were all up on him. And I definitely think she's brainwashed. And he kind of bumped into one of them. But it was crazy because during the trial, you know, most of the family was arriving together. They would leave together. You know, when he was found guilty, like they all loaded up into SUVs and Jim Bob held the door for everyone to get in, and they seemed like they were really bonded as a family. You know, they were going through it together. But through this, not at all. I mean, Jim Bob appeared to show up by himself. The boys and Joanna appeared to show up together, and Anna showed up with the defense team. So it was really crazy. All right, there is Anna leaving. And you can see me running behind her.
For years, the perfume market's been an overpriced, olfactory oligarchy. Some of those bottles.
Well, there's Jim Bob. Thank you, Dustin.
Anything about today's account comes?
So these are the guys from the Sun up here. These two. The blue and this one right here. So funny. Like, these guys were amazing.
5 years and wanted Howard's house.
Watch this. He's like, boop. He's like, get out of my way. And that SUV right there, I actually thought Anna was going to leave in a truck because that's what it looked like, but she actually left in that black SUV. She was actually sitting in there. Well, here she comes. Here she comes. That's the girl that she arrived with. It's not her sister. It's someone from the defense team. You might not can see me in this one. No, you won't be able to see me in this one. That's the woman that brought the coffee in for whoever on Reddit said there was no coffee. There was coffee. Make a big deal out of coffee. You seem like you have a lot better internet in your studio. Your video is crystal clear. I can hear you very loud. Oh, thank you. We are hooked up directly, and we're not having anything else run on this Wi-Fi, so I think that helps. There are clips of me. You can see me chasing them down, but I didn't catch them. Thank you, Sherry. Yes. I think I posted on my TikTok. He's got 20 years parole, strict rules. Yes, he does. The Sun is everywhere. I know. I talked to the lady from the Sun, and she actually worked for Us Weekly and Radar Online at one point. She actually was at The Situations sentencing. She's done interviews with so many celebrities. I was like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. The clip of me, okay, let's see. Anna Duggar leaves Josh sentencing. It may be this one.
Louisiana homeowners, pay close attention. If your home was damaged during Hurricane Ida.
We don't care. We don't care. We don't care.
Do you have any comment, Anna? Do you think 12 years is fair, Anna?
There I am. There I am. Oh my goodness. I should have chucked my shoes off, I tell you.
Mr. Duggar, you got any comment today? Do you think 12 years is a fair sentence, sir?
Watch him bump into him. He's like, get out of my way, boy. Leave me alone. Look, the gray hair on the back.
No comment at all, Mr. Duggar?
I noticed it. There I am, back there. There. Pause. I'm literally wearing like black heels, like pointy toe heels, and I'm running with my purse. I got my phone. Let me slow it down. I don't think I can slow this one down. But there I am. No, and what's crazy is I saw a lot of people asking, is Anna pregnant? Is Anna pregnant? Anna looked pregnant. And she actually does when she's running because the wind is like kind of blowing her dress, towards her body. I don't know how she could be pregnant unless they did it way before they were supposed to, literally like within 2 weeks after they were supposed to, because let's see, they only had a couple of weeks together. Josh and Anna welcome 7th child. So they welcomed their 7th child on October 23rd. And Josh Duggar found guilty. And that was in May. What did I just say? I'm losing track with what I just said. They only had a few weeks. So I don't think she is. I really think that's just, she hasn't lost all the weight. Yeah, I think that's the weight from her she just had a baby, so I think it's just from the fact that she's had 7 kids and she just had a kid. That's what I think it is. But I saw people saying that, like, she looks pregnant, she looks pregnant. I'm like, no, she didn't. She didn't look pregnant to me, but I didn't see her looking like that. I was looking at the back of her, But when she walked into the courtroom, I just seen her from the side. The dress seemed a little bit more loose. It wasn't pushing up against her stomach. When she sat down, I really only seen her, I wasn't looking over to see the front of her. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be. I just don't think so. I think it's just her baby weight from having a baby recently. But I'm not going to rule it out. I guess surely we would find out, though, if she is, right? At some point, she would announce it. End of October, he was found guilty in May, so there's plenty of time. I guess you're right. I mean, you're supposed to wait 6 weeks, but, people don't. I mean, there were 4 months, yeah. I mean, I guess you could. And the way, I guess it's possible. If she is, I'm sure she wouldn't be telling it, right? She probably won't announce it for a while, but at some point we would find out. And look at Pumpkin. Bentley was 10 months old, and the twins were born. That's true. And let me tell you guys, I've got some heat over my Pumpkin video because there's no pictures of the babies out there yet. So when I was making my thumbnail, I was like, okay, to capture, people scrolling that would see the video, like, oh, Pumpkin had twins. It would catch their attention more if maybe I put two little babies on the picture. I said in my video that there were no pictures of the twins. We haven't seen them yet. Pumpkin hasn't confirmed it. So I wasn't trying to pass those little babies off like really like they were hers. It was just to kind of make the photo more like appealing. Like, hey, look at that, look. Because really, when you think about it, if I wouldn't have posted the thumbnail with babies on it, I probably wouldn't have got as many views. I mean, I guess that's clickbait. I don't know. You guys tell me, is it clickbait? I didn't think so because she had them. We just don't have pictures. So I just, in my editing software, I went and I put babies. And I just found two cute little babies, put them on the picture, and ran with that. Yes, Kelly, will you do that and see if he knows? He was locked up. He was arrested when he was found guilty. So I just thought it would be more appealing, if you see the babies, you're like, oh, wait, what, twins? Rather than just maybe seeing the thumbnail, skimming the photo, whatever. I said in the video, I said there's no photos. She's not confirmed it, but people are kind of calling me out like, you're wrong for that photo. And two, apparently the babies were not white babies, which I just thought they were cute babies. It didn't matter to me. Someone said I was a racist because I used babies that were not white. They're like, oh, you're a racist because you gave the babies that you used were black babies. And I'm like, what? Like, oh my goodness, does it matter? How am I racist? What? So I actually commented and I said, if I was racist, I wouldn't have used those babies, but I'm not racist. So I didn't care what babies I used. I just found two of the cutest babies and put them on the photo. But yeah, I've gotten some heat from that photo, even though I said in the video, we don't have pictures of the babies. So since we're talking about that, figured I would bring that up. Some people are so overly sensitive. It's just crazy. I'm like, the point of a thumbnail is to grab their attention. No, not at all. That's what you do. Now, I do think sometimes people take it too far. I saw TikTok, as she said, no, June did. I saw a TikTok live. Someone asked if Pumpkin was pregnant, and she said no. The reason why I did not talk about Pumpkin being pregnant for a while, if you guys go look at other YouTubers put out videos about Pumpkin being pregnant. I did not, because it first come out, right, Vicki? That's what I said. It first come out like early April. It was like around April Fool's. Then it come out that she was pregnant, and then Mama June apparently said on a TikTok, like, no, that was an April Fool's joke. She's not pregnant. So I didn't talk about it because I was like, okay, it's April Fool's joke. She's not pregnant. So I literally just left it alone. But then I'm seeing all of these reports. She had the babies. I mean, literally people confirming what hospital she had them in, their weight, the fact that one was a boy. And I'm like, okay, if they've got this information, that they have their weight, the fact that one was a boy, one was a girl, that she had them by a C-section at such and such hospital, surely somebody's got the correct information. Thank you so much. Yeah, I figured it must be true, and I went ahead and I talked about it. But if she did not have the twins, I will absolutely do a video saying, I'm so sorry, she didn't have twins. I don't know who had twins on that day at that hospital, the way such and such weight, but it wasn't her. Joke's on y'all because she's really pregnant. Let's tell Josh she was reaching out to someone we know, so maybe they might know. I feel like the weight and date and all the info given shows is true. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Did Josh get moved out of his state, or did they leave him there? Where is he at after Simpleton? And I'd like you to look at more than 12 years. And I'd like you to look at more than 12 years. I think he's going to be put in Texas. I think he's going to go to Seagoville, from my understanding, which is like 6 hours away. If Lifetime makes a movie about the reality stars conviction, I want the Chrisleys, I would definitely watch that. A lot of people will have to do that video or article if she isn't. I know that's right. Oh, thank you. It's just me. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's getting late. I'm going to go ahead and get off, but I'll be back tomorrow, talk about a few things. I'm going to be doing lives throughout the day. That's kind of going to be my thing now, I think, is just go live throughout the day with different topics. It was just on Saturday I saw in June said no means she had the babies. Yeah, I'm not sure, but you know, if we can't get solid confirmation, or if we find out that she didn't, I will absolutely apologize for the false information. I don't want to put false information out, but anyways, yeah, you guys, I'm still shocked about the Chrisleys, but you know, I do have to say, you do the crime, you do the time. That's the way I feel about it. I also do believe that people are wrongly convicted at times. So it's a struggle for me, but it is what it is. You guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up. Also, a lot of people are watching, but they're not subscribing. So do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I wonder why Pumpkin didn't post it unless it was being shown on the show. I did notice she didn't post a lot on her Instagram. Even like the little baby boy, she's posted a couple times, but I feel like it's not a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong though. But anyways, thank you to everyone that's been watching tonight, for all the comments, the super chats. Join me tomorrow. I think we're going to go over tomorrow. Deanna Duggar, she did an interview with The Sun, basically saying that she thinks Josh Duggar may have inherited some mental issues that her and Jim Bob's father had. So we will go over that tomorrow. So yeah, join me tomorrow, and until then, I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.